We are in the first weeks of 2026 and things are already going off on a raucous start. Besides all the insanity about AI and everything else happening in the PC space, and also everything coming around with the Steam machine, yesterday everyone had something to look forward to. Finally, video games happening in this brand new year. And what happened? Well, the Xbox Developer Direct. And personally, I thought it was pretty good. Not great, not terrible, but just all right. Some really great games, some good ideas, and some not so good ideas as well. And the funniest part about all of this isn't just the fact that we are finally getting to talk about video games again, but now we're still in 2026 and fanboys are still acting like the actual clowns they've always acted like. Yes, grown adult men in their 40s acting like children over video games in plastic boxes. You thought we would let this go last year after the 6+ months of me not making this content? No, apparently not. I can't. It has to keep going, I guess. That's how things are. But you know what? Let's go over the Dev Direct first and see what I thought. First up, it was Forza Horizon 6. This game looked amazing. I really feel like what they were doing with this title and the engine and what they're doing with it just looks leagues ahead of what we saw back with Motorsport about a year or two back. The visuals look fantastic. The game looks great. The style of Japan is even better and it fits with the theme. Everything just looked so phenomenal. I never played Forza Horizon 5 honestly that much, but this looks like a really great title to jump into. And of course, having the Gundam at the end looked incredibly cool. Having this entire mechanic based around like simulation aspects as well, building your own town, city, and house, going around and just exploring everything. And if you guys are old enough like me, you might have caught that little initial D segment there too. I know I did. That's what I'm probably going to be rocking when I'm playing this game, honestly. And the thing is, just going around and meeting up with people and racing on the night, everything just looked really cool. And honestly, I'm incredibly excited to try this game out. And hopefully it's pretty optimized, because even Forza Horizon 5 was incredibly optimized as well. Now we're going to get into what I think is going to be a massive sleeper hit of 2026. Game Freak's Beast of Reincarnation. It's amazing what a company that is no longer shackled by Nintendo being forced to make Pokemon games can actually create and really bring out something new and refreshing to the industry that really is, honestly, incredibly cool looking. I think this game has so much potential to it, and if it pulls off what it's trying to do, it's going to be very awesome overall. This like Sekiro style kind of like look to it with the katana, the blocking, the parrying, everything about that. The music just sounds fantastic in the trailer, and even then having the doggo with you too. The story seems incredibly cool, everything seems awesome, and then what really got me the most is adding this like slow down RPG mechanic inside of the action game. It'll almost feel like two vastly different games, but I think the most optimal way to play it will be when you combine those two styles together. Slowing down time, having like a Legend of Dragoon system where you have RPG mechanics from the PS1 days of trying to find the specific timing of going around and adding your actual extra attack, almost like E33 as well. And then using your main character to do all the actual combos as well, and just combining everything all together. It seems like a really good fit and a good idea for this kind of game. And I really feel like if Game Freak can pull this off, we might in fact see a really cool set of series come out from this title specifically. And personally, it's pretty much going to fit in line with exactly what I've been looking for in video games pretty much recently. Just going back and playing old PS2 games. It kind of like has that old nostalgia feel to it as well. Just mishmashing all kinds of things together and making something cool, which I think is a great idea. And oh, also, I really love the artwork. Holy, the artwork is so good. I'm kind of pumped about this, and I really hope it pulls off for Game Freak and they can break themselves free from Nintendo's idiotic grasp. Now, even though those first two titles were in fact very cool, now for me comes the third part where I feel like this could have been skipped, or they could have put something else entirely in this spot. And the game is in fact called Kiln. You're basically just like a pot that you go ahead and make while you're playing the game. Then you have kind of like this 4v4 Bomberman kind of thing happening in the background, where you have to collect water with your pot that you've made in sort of like a almost even Dota 2 kind of mechanic, where you go around and have an actual board and you go ahead and try to extinguish your actual enemy's kiln, which I guess it's a cool idea and all. But the thing is though, Double Fine really has been a bit awkward in what they've been putting out recently. And I feel like this game really doesn't fit the actual motif of what they were really showing. But the thing is, I will say this, even though at the very beginning of the actual developer direct, I was kind of like put off by Kiln, the more I watched it and the more I saw what was going on, it did kind of remind me of those old days of couch co-op or even couch multiplayer on the N64, i.e. Bomberman, which is where that idea came from, honestly, or even playing more Dota specifically because of that. Just that map style, just the way it's designed and kind of the objectives going through. I really feel like this game, though, could have been announced as a side project more than anything instead of being part of the Dev Direct. And honestly, it feels like a perfect Switch 2 game. I'm just going to say it right here. I feel like that is going to be an excellent party game and a really great way of actually getting couch co-op back in that space. And I think that's kind of why it feels sort of off on this. The games in the actual Dev Direct really felt like these huge, grandiose titles, and things are really just popping off on a consistent basis. And the thing is to have something like Kiln kind of drag the entire thing down. Personally, if it was ready, I would have loved a Fallout New Vegas remaster or a Fallout 3 remaster. That would have been the ideal clincher in this actual space, or even starting off with something like that too. Maybe even also putting Kiln in the beginning rather than actually at the middle part, which kind of like drag things down as well. But the thing is though, it does seem like a cool little game, and it might fall apart if you don't have 3 other people to play with you. And I feel like what could be really crazy is if they actually took this game into a more serious level probably, and even made it incredibly competitive on that end, with different kinds of mechanics and styles, and even then possibly make a more casual Dota, which would be really neat as well, if that's kind of like what they're going for. Which honestly, I'd be totally cool with as well, but the way it was presented, honestly, left a few things to be desired. And finally, we saw Fable from Playground Games. Personally, I think it looks really fantastic from what we saw recently, and we get our own character creator. I guess the backlash of what we saw previously with the main character really didn't go over well with everybody at Playground and Microsoft, and they decided to add it on their own as well. Personally, I think that was the right decision because it actually fits with the previous Fable games too. The thing is though, even though it looks great, there are still some rough spots that I noticed as well. Some animations look kind of janky, some things really didn't fit well, but at the same time, the game is around 7 to 8 months away. And personally, I feel like they could honestly knock this out of the park, depending upon the engine use and how it performs and how it plays. But from what I saw, it looks pretty good. You got the actual style of Fable, you've got chickens, you've got everything you need, the British humor, everything seems to be right in line for what Fable might do well in the modern age and in this gaming space as well. Having that really gray morality in the entire space is a good idea too. And at the same time, if you could have like a deeper morality system in this game and just do even more wild stuff, I think it's going to be a really great idea. The concept of going around and marrying a bunch of people, having a bunch of divorces, buying all the shops in actual Albion, going around and selling them all as well, just controlling everything, being the ultimate good guy or the ultimate bad guy, really fits back into the space of the older Fables like Fable 1 and even Fable 2. I never really played Fable 3 that much, but I really enjoyed Fable 2, honestly. But all in all, it wasn't a bad developer direct. Personally, I would have liked a better overall game to be the surprise title instead of what we saw with Kiln, but at the same time, it was actually a pretty good start to 2026. I'm excited to see what Xbox does and what they're going to be presenting later on this year, hopefully with the Xbox Magnus, and how they're going to be approaching everything happening in the gaming space. Seeing as how everybody apparently has been saying that Xbox is dead, but when you look around, everybody was so excited to watch the Xbox Developer Direct. Really makes you think now, doesn't it? And that's kind of why I bring this up. I know people have been asking about, where's my fanboy salt? Well, baby, here it is. But the thing is, it's honestly kind of cringe. It's 2026. Why do we have 40-plus-year-old dudes console warring about PlayStation and Xbox again, all doing the exact same moronic thing over and over? And when you see it, it's not that it's funny anymore. It's actually just sad, honestly, because really what's happening right now is you're just seeing these grown-ass dudes getting made fun of by a guy who wears a banana suit. But I know why you're here, and I'm gonna give it to you. MBG on Twitter said this: gaming in 2026 is looking legitimately overwhelming. So many great games coming. With a picture of Fable, Grand Theft Auto 6, Resident Evil Requiem, and Wolverine. You know what I find really hilarious about somebody like MBG? This is the exact same dude who's tried to sneak diss me and criticize me the entire time, saying that I'm a grifter, saying that I do these horrible things, that I shouldn't be saying mean things about him, who used to be an Xbox fanboy, turned his entire channel into a PlayStation channel, and he sucks off a company and corporation on a consistent basis. My boy, no matter how many times you put your streams on members so you don't get clipped by Astro Cyborg, it's gonna keep happening to you. Don't worry, you'll come out of hiding at some point. And when you do, honey, you got a big storm coming. But I think it's honestly even funnier that the same dudes who were lambasting Xbox for multiple years, saying that they're terrible, how PlayStation earned them the entire time, how Xbox is a bad company, how nobody should be playing on Xbox in the first place. Now he turns around, and the second Xbox puts games on the PlayStation, oh, now it's a banger year. Now you've got the best games coming out in 2026, right? Now Fable is exactly next to Wolverine and GTA 6 of your hype and excitement. It's almost like you always were Xbox fans from the very beginning, and the difference is it wasn't cool enough for you. Literal grown fucking men in their 30s and 40s getting mad about what other people think about what plastic box they buy, determining what games they should actually play because it's not cool for the people on Twitter. Literally, how pathetic are you, even though your mustache looks like two capybaras trying to kiss? It's honestly ridiculous over and over again. 2026 is stacked now. Now you're trying to be the guy who just wants to talk about video games when we have you on record fanboying for multiple years. The Crap Gamer makes a quote retweet of PlayStation talking about Fable for 2026, saying this: PS5 Pro enhanced. Brother, where did it say PS5 Pro enhanced? And honestly, if I was someone that paid $750 for a console, I would hope that they would enhance it for my actual device that I paid for from the actual company and corporation. What are we even talking about? Oh, PS5 Pro enhanced. I could simply say 7900 XT, 7700X enhanced. Brother, Xbox has been putting games on multiple platforms for over a decade now. And now you're just sitting here shitting, pissing, and cumming your own pants because a game is going on to PlayStation? Were you still too busy getting your pussy popped open by Phil Spencer after he ratioed you on Twitter all those years back about Quantum Break and other people getting to play a video game? Literally in big 2026, we're still sitting around console warring about the entire thing. Actual pathetic behavior. Truly is. Again, it's not that it's funny anymore. Now it's getting to be just sad and actually pathetic when you look at it. But the thing is, Crap Gamer didn't stop there. No. Crap Gamer an hour later said this: it always feels like Xbox developers are more excited to launch on PlayStation than Xbox. So far, the big 25th anniversary Xbox celebration is cloud bull, PC and handheld, and Xbox games going to PlayStation. Is there actually any love for Xbox console fans at Xbox P3? Brother, what are we even talking about? What whiplash, insanity inducing, bipolar ass behavior is this? An hour ago you were like, PS5 Pro enhanced, PlayStation the best, baby. Then when you finish busting your nut and having your clairvoyance finally and reality sets in, now you crawl back to being an Xbox fanboy. Oh, Phil Spencer, how come you don't do anything for the Xbox fans? Brother, they're putting the games on the platform. You guys want video games? They put video games there, and that's the point. That's the literal point. Now you don't have to spend 70 or 80 bucks for a video game. You just have Game Pass now, and you play the game there. Who cares what device the game is played on? What is it with these dudes sitting here crying, bitching, and complaining? Well, I want to play the video game, but it's not exclusive to my platform. Ah, yes, that's what we're doing now. You can't play with my toys unless you buy the same box that I bought, and then you play the same toy that I bought to make me feel better about my purchase. You actual idiot and clown. How are you dudes still doing this? Literally grown-ass middle-aged men having their midlife crisis getting made fun of by another grown-ass middle-aged man who wears a goddamn banana suit. You want to know who the pathetic person is? Not the guy in the banana suit. That's who. XVault Gaming on Twitter said this, and just like that, zero reason to own an Xbox console ever again. Look who it is, the old dude with the old news. This boy has been walking around trying to call himself a salt content creator, even though the only thing he's ever capable of doing is going back 5+ years into tweets from everybody from 2020 and 2019, trying to get a gotcha on somebody, while also making content that's like 4 weeks old after everything in fact already happened. Look, I get it. You want to try and be cool. You're having your own midlife crisis about things. You think you're sticking it to the Xbox guys, but literally you're just admitting to everybody right now you love Xbox. You can sit here and suck off on PlayStation all day long as much as you want, but literally all you've ever wanted to do and all you ever wanted to play were in fact Xbox games. And you in fact bought an Xbox on your own. So you had literally no excuse to even do that in the first place. This kind of behavior, this kind of stupidity really goes to show you dudes are literally nothing but grifters from the very beginning. You guys used to be Xbox fans, became PlayStation fans when they lost the console war, which then you want to go around and parade yourself like you're the winner of a fictitious thing that you made up in your own head, when in reality the $4 trillion company is going to make a device that plays every game because PlayStation is putting all their games on the PC, and just like that, no need to ever buy a PlayStation ever again either, because I can just go on Steam, click the game, click install, and I can play the game better than your precious PS5 Pro. Nobody on this actual face of the earth, on this actual side of idiotic fanboys and grown adult men who apparently have the ability to vote, by the way, that's even scarier when you think about it, acting like petulant children, can literally hold a candle to this. And it's honestly amazing to see every single time, you nincompoop. James Act on Twitter said this: "I approve of this," laughing crying emoji, with a screenshot of Sacred Symbols, the PlayStation podcast, having their thumbnail of the Xbox Direct, calling it the PlayStation Developer Direct. Now it all becomes clear. Now I see where this is all coming from. Now I know why we still have fanboys in the big 2026 still console warring about my PlayStation and about my Xbox. Because Colin, I huff my own farts Moriarty, is still doing that exact same thing, literally console warring right now in this very day and age. Wouldn't it be so funny, you guys, if I called it the PlayStation Developer Direct? I'm so smart and witty. Yes, my boy, you sure got everybody on that one, I guess. Even though every time PlayStation goes around and does a state of play, I'm just going to call it the state of PC. Uh-oh! Oh, wait! Hold on! Wait a minute, now it's not so funny now, is it? Oh no, wait. Now I'm a port beggar, right? No, now I'm just an asshole. Stop calling it a PlayStation State of PC, Alex. That's not funny. But hold on, it's not funny when the shoe's on the other foot now, is it? I guess you clowns will always have to bend the knee to your giant megalomaniac corporations. But I guess that's really the funniest part about all of this. Getting to make fun of you idiots and clowns on a consistent basis, going through and acting like actual children when you're literally just grown men in your 40s. Also, James, you're the exact same idiot and clown telling people to buy a PlayStation, saying that GPUs are no longer for actual consumers, but instead for AI. And then you have the gall to call yourself a PC guy. So which one is it? I'm trying to figure it out. I'm sure everybody else is too. Are you a PC guy or are you a PlayStation guy? Sounds to me like you're just a clown. DeWed Dwagon on Twitter said this: 3 words, whole slate Xbox, laughing crying emoji. Oh, this is the one. This is better than Mikey Barra being a bitter X. The Red Dragon is Xbox's insane bitter X the entire time. This dude is the exact same dude who filmed himself in the old mountains of Appalachia going around and slanging himself while he's driving his Jeep down the road, talking about how great Xbox Game Pass is, how renting your games is honestly so great for everybody to do because it saves you money. Then he turns around, privates the video, and 2 years later becomes a goddamn PlayStation fanboy telling everybody how bad Xbox Game Pass is because good old Philly Spence didn't give the guy a fucking game code. No, I'm not kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, the lore behind these people, the actual history of these literal clowns being grown adult men and women on the internet acting like petulant children about video games online truly knows no bounds. You would be shocked to see the insanity that happens on a consistent basis with thing. But the thing is, it's even better because honestly, I could say the exact same thing to you, Red Dragon. Whole slate PC. Practically every single PlayStation game that you've gone off and your fleshlight to is literally on my platform. The platform that I don't have to pay online for. The platform that I don't have to go through and sign into anything for. The platform that went around and bought Stellar Blade 19 times more than the actual PlayStation when it was exclusive on that platform. The thing you guys have to parade around the entire time, we got exclusives. No, you don't. You guys have timed games because after that time limit is up, them bitches come right to me because everybody knows you guys don't buy any goddamn games. You're too busy sitting on Twitter all day long. And it's the funniest thing to watch as these dudes become massive hypocrites on a major scale, on a consistent basis, literally becoming actual clowns, getting mad at me of all people because I call them out and I let everybody know they're no one to be listened to or clowns to be ignored. But the thing is, it gets even sillier because all of this happens simply because these dudes don't just want to buy an Xbox. They're all old Xbox fans. They're all old bitter X's, and they decided to stop being an Xbox fan for some reason, go to another brand company, suck that company off instead, and then now that they get to play Xbox games again, now they get to brag about it? Look, if you guys were so excited to play Xbox games from the beginning, why didn't you just play on the Xbox, which is what you guys always say, buy the console, buy the game, why don't you support the developers? Well, you didn't do any of that shit. You literally just want to play your Xbox games on a different console. What's the difference? You guys don't understand the actual market and realizing you guys also don't buy your fucking games. Because if you did, they wouldn't be putting them on the PC. If you did, they wouldn't have put Helldivers on the Xbox. If you did, none of this would in fact be happening. But the thing is, you're too busy trying to suck off a company and corporation. And when that company and corporation you, I'll be here to make fun of you on your way down. Because baby, it's gonna be great. Ladies and gentlemen, I really hoped you enjoyed today's video. Now, here's the thing though. Normally around this time, I do what's called the comment of the day. Today, we're gonna be doing something different, and I really hope you guys stick around for this part because it's incredibly important. Friend of the channel, Gene Park, has been battling cancer for a few years. In fact, he was actually in remission. Unfortunately though, we found out the other day that Gene Park's cancer has in fact come back. His tweet said this: "Hey guys, just to confirm that this is indeed my fundraiser. I didn't want to ask for help, but I do need it. My cancer is back. I am going through a lobectomy next week, the very same surgery Walter White undergoes. My bills are massive. This has been an incredible help already. I can't express how grateful I am. Thank you so much, everyone." Now, just so you guys are aware, I did put the link for Gene Park's GoFundMe in the pinned comment down below. I know things right now are not great for anybody in any sense of the word, especially financially. Gene is one of the very few journalists that I actually respect in this industry today, next to a small handful of other people as well. And even if you cannot give anything financially, I'm sure he would greatly appreciate any kind words and any wholesome messages you could definitely send his way as well. And if you do want to donate, again, you don't have to, it's not a requirement. His GoFundMe is in the pinned comment down below. But with all that being said, if you liked today's video, thank you. And if you didn't like it, fuck you. Ooh, that felt good bringing that one back. If you want to see more of this kind of content though, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content like this, or my hot takes on the gaming industry, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 106K. And I just want to say thank you guys so very much. If you want Discord access or emotes during live streams, become a YouTube member. It's as low as $1. If you don't want to spend the buck, don't sweat it. Just come on down Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live right here on the channel as I wear a banana suit and get insulted by 800 people with AITTS. Trust me, it's a hell of a show. You don't want to miss it. With all that being said as well, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one. And I'll see you gooners next time. Peace!